not hard. You smell her sweet breath. Without thinking, you inhale. Warmth flows up your spine. Your manhood stifles almost painfully. Gods, you whisper. Sorcery, glorious, devilish sorcery, whisper. Her hands wrap around you. One hand slides underneath the blanket. Her skin is like fire as it rests upon your upper stomach. Not painful, it only fills you with heat. What do you say, dragon? She whispers in your ear. Her hands begin to slide slowly down your abdomen. You're breathing fast now too. Egra says something, screams it actually, but you cannot hear. Say yes, Egra whispers. The heat and the pleasure is building swiftly. What the fuck is that? Agha. You say. Her hand lowers, now just a fox hair from your yearning manhood. Say it, she whispers. Her words push a wave up inside you, bursting. What is this? Yes, you shout. Your body convulses. Yes, by the gods old and new. Yes. Why am I stuck in this? Seriously? What is this? Why am I always getting stuck in these scenarios? Stop pushing me in why is Sand Lamstrong doing this again? I'm fucking up his name again, but why is he doing this again? Why is he doing this? Why are we getting pushed in a certain direction? Stop it. It's boring that way. Fuck's sake, this is embarrassing to even read. The torments of pleasure crest over you. I'm just gonna read it fast. Torments of pleasure crest over you. Quickly over the other, one after the other. Kriya's hand is gone from your abdomen in an instant. She lets you go as you slump to the floor when you writhe and groan in ecstasy. As the heat begins to subside, you can hear Egra's words come back into your mind. Her. I must say she is coming along. Perhaps not such a bad woman to team up with after all. Witchcraft, you mumble through drool. A warm stickiness bathes your groin against the blanket. Tears are beginning to form in your eyes. How could you let her do that? You say to Egra. I was telling you to say no. Says Egra. Did you not hear me? Have you held out a little longer? You could have had so much control. You must work on your self-control. Vaguely you realize that you're weeping from departing pleasure or humiliation. Not sure which. It's not right. It's not right what you did. Your cheeks rest along the wooden floor plank. The boards creak as Kriya walks away hurriedly. Get a hold of yourself, Rooster. I barely even touch you. She says coldly. So she actually touched me, but she's used a spell. Kriya throws you a bundle of clothes. Now the room is bathed in the early morning light. Where do you get this? You say, bitterly shaking the bundle at her. You use your whore magic on some other unsuspecting resident of the inn. Try it on, she says. It looks to be around the right size. She turns around and waits. Throw your blanket off, thinking that she could use a bath. You could use a bath. So you believe that was magic I used on you. She says to the far wall, yes. You exclaims you, why didn't you pull up your tries? Obviously, yes, it was the most certainly sorcery, because you had a deep breath. That has never happened to me before. Are you referring to your release of your pleasure? I did not realize you were so innocent. She says, amusement in a voice. I presume it was daily occurrence for you. It is. What I mean is that the whole episode was a great deal swifter than I am accustomed to, you say. So you're saying that after a night of being beaten, nearly drowned, and running for your life while naked, that you're angry because the pleasure beyond all measure that I brought to you was over too quickly. I did not say beyond all measure. You grumble as you pull on your new trousers. I have had better. Egra laughs. You have not. You have not seen all my memory, you say to Egra. As I next lay down to sleep, I should relive such memories that will even make your father blush. Oh, what a twisted promise that is, says Egra with a laugh. And do not take offense so readily. The chinks in your armor are too easy to find. My champion needs a thick skin for the barbs and arrows of this world. This is... holy shit, I did not expect this. For fuck's sake, how am I supposed to do this? There's like 24 chapters in this, and it's pissing me off at 8th chapter. Like, for fuck's sake, we really need to establish this, and I really need to establish this. Fuck you guys. I really need to establish this, and I really need to establish this with everybody, because I can't do this like this. Because in Wizard's Choice, it was always like we were the weak one, right? There was never a problem with the weakness of it. We were always getting fucked over again and again and again, and every little thing of like happiness that our character could get, it was immediately taken away. Shit, and it was not good. It was absolute like weakness in that one, but that never pissed me off because that was understandable. This one is just, the problem with this is not just that it's it's showing our character's weakness. is that our character is so naive in this one for some reason. And on top, I already hate naive characters. On top of that, he's a thief. How is he naive? He's a rogue. How is he naive? How does that make any sense? And he's so, like, he never backs out of anything. He's just getting fucked over and over and over and over. And I don't see any pathway forward, honestly. The only power that he has is just, like, he only had one, he was only good at one thing in particular. Two things, I guess. One is his agility, which he still has, fortunately at least, would probably be taken away from us at some point. But the other thing he's good at is being good with women, and now it's just like we instantly getting spell casted on every 2 seconds, then we're still going back to Kriya, and it's getting fucked over and over, and just like, it's fucked beyond fucked. Like, I literally can't tell how fucked this is. Like, this is getting ridiculous with every, like, because you need to keep people invested into a story, right? Let me give you a fucking example, because I'm already on a rant, right? Try watching there's an anime called Kaifuku. I've not watched the anime myself. I have read the manga before the anime came out. The anime entire plot is about how our character is completely tortured, fucked over, and just like his entire life is just fucked. It's like fucked beyond fucked. Like, he's even getting raped to the point of fucked, alright? It's just fucked in every goddamn way. That show doesn't piss me off even this much as this show does. Because, like, I personally, I'm not Rooster, alright? I am not Rooster. I don't imagine myself as the main character. I'm looking at this from a spectator's standpoint. So think of me as an audience, right? Think of me as one of you guys listening to this. I'm just reading this. That's the whole difference between us, right? And it's just so annoying as a viewer to watch this. Because you must have seen some shows where the main character is just insanely dumb, or he's getting pulled into situations where just like everyone's leading him by the nose. But just like the only reason the main character makes out on top at the end of the show is because of plot, because plot armor and like plot makes it so that things go according his way, somehow use of help from some other people, and somehow makes it on top. That's how it is, and that sucks balls for a story. I don't want a story like that. That is boring. That's like old school anime. It sucks so fucking much. It's beyond fucking sucky. Like, it's like the main character doesn't have talent, the main character doesn't have skill, the main character does not hard work, but the main character gets fucked over continuously because of how naive he is. Like, you have no skill, I understand that. You have no talent, I understand that. You're not hardworking, I understand that. But like, even after all that, how are you so fucking naive? And on top of that, this is like, it's just so fucking fucked. And they're pushing a linear story again. How many times do I have to say this? A linear story sucks. And this is chapter 8, and I'm getting so pissy with it. This is why I did not want to record this at the moment. Now I have to go through all the way to like chapter 24, and they're probably going to pull this like a million times. And let me just say this, if ever an option to romance Kriya came up, and that option by any measure was not a linear option, I am not going with Kriya. She's a fucking asshole, I can tell you that much. So I am not, she's a manipulative bitch, alright? And I am not, if that ever came up, I hope it doesn't, but if it did, and if they gave me an option, and if they did not give me an option, that would be even more shit, alright? But if they gave me an option, I am not going for Kriya, I can tell you that much. I could go for Iranova, despite the fact that she almost got killed. But like, manipulation through force is one thing. Manipulation like this is just ridiculous. So I cannot, partake in this, unfortunately. Let's move forward. Presently, you realize that Kriya has turned back around and is watching you curiously. You can only imagine what expression you have been storming over your face in your silent exchange with Egra. You suck in breath and point at Kriya with an accused finger. By the gods, you know this is not about pleasure or pain. This is about free will. You believe in free will, says Kriya, blinking her large-eyed in mock innocence. How quaint. Despite your efforts, you're unable to hide your scowl at her mocking tone. You pull the shirt over your head and wrangle your arms through the sleeves. You see that the clothing does indeed fit you pretty well. Kriya either has quite an eye for detail or she was just lucky. As I believe in my free will, you say at last. I must have misread you, Rooster. Perhaps you're not so simple. Her voice is serious, but you suspect she's hiding a smile. Do not try to be complacent with me. Do not try to be do not try to placate me, okay? Do not try to placate me, you say. I told you not to use your mind tricks on me at the end, after we first met. I deeply apologize, you say. You do not comprehend how important this is. I think I could kill you now, strangle you, you say, but I cannot. You know I cannot, just as you know I cannot shake the need to help you on your suicidal quest in pursuit of that Thog priestess. I feel it. When I say yes to you, I entered some demonic covenant. She grits her teeth, her face flushing. There's nothing demonic about it. Never accuse me of such things. Well, that struck the mark, says Egra. Interesting. Kriya takes a deep breath. I think we should honestly, at this point, talk to Kriya like she is our master. Honestly, it would at least make me feel good as a viewer to watch that. That would be funny at least in some fucked up way. That could at least put some prospect to this where I could fucking enjoy this. Like in this whole story, right? When I'm dealing with enemies, it's much more calmer. Like the story at least makes sense. Like, look, there's a guy with a spear trying to kill you. Or look, there's a god with its tentacles trying to kill you. And at least some semblance of makes sense. Like I was all in this entire time I was talking about how Egra pisses me off. Like Egra is not doing anything now. Like Egra still is annoying, but at least she's just annoying. She's not fucking destroying us like that completely. This is absurd. This is completely manipulation, and we are dead pretty much. I mean, because the only reason our character, I don't know what's going to happen in the story, but I can tell you, our character will not survive this unless he has plot armor, right? And that's the only way our character is going to survive this whole ordeal that we are going to be doing. So let's move forward, and there's nothing we can clearly do here. It's just like a linear path to follow. He takes a deep breath, pauses for a moment, and says, the effect of the enchantment will fade. By then you will have your wealth and glory, and I will graciously accept your thanks. I'll be dead, you say, but of course, that's nothing to you. Just like when you used me to get that, you point at the rat. Oh, do not start up on that again, Kriya says, waving her hand at you dismissively. She begins stroking Haw's head. I think you should focus on the task at hand. The procession for the path of Bloodborne. Bloodborne? Where the fuck did Bloodborne come from? Oh, because... okay, whatever. Well, I'm not even in the mood to talk about anything at this point. I'm just gonna read like a fucking tape recorder as much as possible. We'll still be in the outer ring at this hour. I propose that we go see if Bonebrow is among them. You say seated, still fuming at her. How can she move on as though she did not just violate me, you think? And what of you, Egra? I thought you did not want to tangle with Thog, break this enchantment upon my mind. Oh, I do not know, says Egra. I may have underestimated your wizard friend. My father would be pleased to thwart the will of Thog, and with the wizard's help, perhaps we shall be victorious. Of course, I would require that we steer clear of enemy temples. Kriya adopts a conciliatory tone? Is she conciliate? On the way, you would tell me more about this fascinating puppet you rescued. You sag onto the bed, into the fire I go again, you think. Best we hurry, says Egra as she picks up Hawes and packs her knapsack. You'll want to catch up to the doppelganger before the procession moves onto the middle ring. What do you say? Work on getting a disguise first, yeah. I'll probably get caught. I need to get a disguise. This guide would be wise, you think. I made powerful enemies last night. Even the priest of Aletheia might hunt me now. Egra's presence brightens within you. She will be happy to oblige. On the other hand, you would ask Kriya to use an illusion if she has one. I'm not asking Kriya. Fuck that. Use Egra. Fuck. I'm going to use all my favor. I'm not asking Kriya for shit. And if there's an option to leave Kriya to die, which I highly doubt there is, they're going to force us all the way to 24th episode with Kriya. They're not going to kill her, I can tell you that much. And if they do, then thank you, Sand Landstrom or whosoever made that decision to go with that. Because fuck this bitch. Fucking hell, that's annoying.